Hey, what's going on guys? Acer and John here, and today we're going to be going over the Destiny 2 news for December 2nd, 2021. But before we jump into it, I ask you want to keep up to date on all Destiny 2 news, information, leaks, tutorials, and more, that you go subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, let's jump into it. So if you've been paying attention to certain community members over the past couple of days, you know that some of them are participating in a new charity event, and to be specific, this is the 3rd annual Game to Give charity event. If you're not aware, for the past 2 years, Bungie's been running this iPads for Kids program, and so the charity money goes to that. This year, it's going to be running from December 2nd, which is today, till December 15th. And at the following donation thresholds, you're going to get the following rewards. At $10, you're going to get the Lightkeeper emblem. I think we saw this in the previous one. At $20, you're going to get the brand new Arc Propellant emblem, as well as the previous emblem. At $35, you're going to get the High Five Heart Exotic Multiplayer emote and the 2 previous emblems. And at $50, you're going to get the Ultrix Pura Mark 1 exotic ship, as well as the emote and 2 emblems. If you're interested in any of this, I'll have a direct link in the description down below to the article giving the exact details. Moving on, let's go ahead and talk about Trials, because apparently this weekend we're going to be seeing Freelance Trials return. The only difference between this time and last time Freelance was available, they state that the only requirement is going to be owning Beyond Light and being above 1290 power. As compared to before, I think you need both of those on top of completing a special Trials of Osiris intro quest. They did go on to state that since we have 2 more Twabs for the year, that being December 9th and December 16th, and then Bungie will be silent for several weeks because they're going on winter break. They state that there will be another Freelance Trials running from December 31st to January 3rd. They also mentioned that there will be another Capture Zone Trials and Freelance Trials in early February before the launch of Witch Queen. Moving on in the news, let's go ahead and talk about Moments of Triumph for 2021. A common misunderstanding with Moments of Triumph is that it's linked with the Solstice of Heroes event. No, it's not linked with the Solstice of Heroes event. It's just because in the past, expansions used to launch in the fall, and so because that, Moments of Triumph would always appear at the same time with the Solstice of Heroes event, so that's why it's launching now with the 30th anniversary event. Anyways, Bungie goes on to state here that it's launching with the 30th anniversary event next week. Like always, there will be a t-shirt for you to go after, as well as a title seal with a pin to earn, and there'll be a strange coin that you could buy. But if you're looking for some free in-game rewards, like always, offered with the Moments of Triumph event, you'll be able to unlock this cool emblem, Ghost, and Sparrow. And ideally, this should be running from next week on December 7th till the launch of Witch Queen on February 22nd. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about a bunch of random updates that should all be going live next week with the anniversary event. First up, with armor mods, they state that armor mods will no longer cost Glimmer or any kind of currency to equip them, and they will be able to be swapped out instantaneously. But that's not all. Because of this change, this means that third-party Destiny 2 apps starting on December 7th will be able to apply Armor 2.0 mods, weapon perks, shaders, ornaments, and ghost projections. So yeah, this is a very, very big deal. They also go on to briefly mention here that they will be looking at artifact mod resets and cost in the future. Hopefully, in the future, we will be able to unlock every single artifact mod at once for no cost. I cannot even tell you guys how annoying that is. I'm sure you already know. Speaking of third-party apps, the chances of any of you being a third-party app developer watching this video is very low, but if you happen to be a API developer out there in the community, they're going to be giving you this exclusive emblem. That looks pretty cool. However, that's not all for quality of life changes. They're making a very long list of photosensitivity changes. Also, with the Blind Well, they updated it so that Dreaming City weapons now drop more frequently upon successful completions. And they're implementing a brand new preview and purchase feature onto exotic ornaments. As you can see on this Hawkmoon image here, you'll be able to view every single ornament that has ever existed for Hawkmoon. And if you'd like to purchase it at that moment in time, you could purchase it for silver. They do go on to note that if it's on a week that's available for Bright Dust, that you will be able to buy it for Bright Dust instead of silver. And then they also showed us this preview of a upcoming Le Monarch ornament that will be available next week. In other quality of life updates, the Corrupted Strike got a bunch of fixes / changes to make the strike less irritating. Then they also go on to show us 2 changes that are coming to 2 Titan exotics. First up with Dune Marchers. They state that once a player is hit by a Dune Marcher's lightning chain, they cannot be hit again by Dune Marchers for 2 seconds. And Dune Marcher's lightning now only chains on targets that are alive, so hopefully that'll make it slightly less irritating. And with the Icefall Mantle exotic, they made it so Stasis Overshield can now be cancelled by pressing the class ability input once more. Also, y'all remember in the last crossplay update, they talked about implementing text chat to consoles in December. Well, next week on December 7th, with the launch of the 30th anniversary pack, display-only text chat will be available for all consoles, so all my console homies will finally be no longer ignoring me when I'm typing in the chat. Hopefully this means that more people will learn how to use the Ball and the Corrupted Strike. And for all my console homies that would like to actually type in the text chat, with the launch of Witch Queen, you will finally be able to type in the text chat, and you will also gain the option to type in the text chat using a USB keyboard. Lastly, in the random little updates department, starting on December 16th, they're going to be changing the Twitch gifted subs emblem. If you're not aware, certain people who are playing Destiny 2 on Twitch have the Twitch bounty thing turned on. I forget what it's called, but if you complete the bounty, which is usually gift some Twitch subs to people, you'll end up getting a cool looking purple emblem. Anyways, they're changing the emblem that you get to this Windows 97 looking emblem. That pretty much wraps it up for the This Week at Bungie information. If you want to see the artists and the movies of the week, it'll be in the Twab, linked in the description down below. However, that doesn't wrap it up for the news. Today on Steam, we ended up getting some updated 30th anniversary info as well as a couple of new pictures. So starting off with some dungeon info, because we actually got more of the 6-man activity info rather than the dungeon. The dungeon is going to be called Grasps of Avarice, or Avarice. They state, plunder the new 3-player dungeon inspired by famed Cosmodrome loot caves of yore. Reveal a tale of riches and regret as you follow an adventurer who traded his humanity for treasure. If you ask me, that kind of sounds like we're going to be seeing the origins of Xur. If you don't know, Xur is going to be the main focus of the 30th anniversary event, and if you ask me, Xur is a guy that's pretty close to treasure. I mean, he sells us exotics every single weekend, so I have a strong feeling that this dungeon is going to be about Xur's origins. And also one last piece of info about the dungeon. Here we got a brand new picture of what I am assuming to be the entrance to the dungeon. But moving on to the 6-man activity details, it's going to be called Dares of Eternity. We already knew that. Starting off here, we see an entrance to what appears to be the treasure room where you go to collect your rewards. You can see Xur there, a chest. We'll get another look at it in a second. And also, if you look very closely, you can see some of the new / returning weapons on the Guardian's back. We'll come back to that in a second. But anyways, moving on to this, looks like rewards redemption room. You see there's a main chest that you'll get like random gear from, but there also appears to be some extra chests. Maybe you'll use a brand new currency to open up these chests to target farm certain things. You see there's icon for chest piece, boots, class item, gauntlets. However, there's also icons for ship, ghosts, and shaders. And DMG did go on Twitter to confirm that for 30th anniversary pack owners, there will be additional cosmetic only chests for you to open in the Dares of Eternity activity. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And lastly, for a new Dares of Eternity screenshot, or at least what I assume to be, I'm pretty sure Dares of Eternity is going to be taking place in the 9 realms. And in this picture, we see Xur and a cosmic horse standing by a giant wheel with the different race symbols. We got Cabal at the top, then Hive, Fallen, Vex, and Taken. No Scorn or Siva. But anyways, we got the 5 main races, and I assume that how this activity is going to work is at the the beginning. Zer's gonna spin the wheel here, and you'll have to fight that race for the... So hopefully that should keep the activity pretty fresh feeling. But anyways, going back to that picture from before, I actually have a higher quality picture where we can look at the Guardians close up here. And going from left to right in both of these pictures, I'm gonna show them one at a time. First up here appears to be some sort of pulse rifle on this Titan's back. And then moving on to the Warlock there in the middle, he's wearing the Myth sword. He also appears to be wearing that unique helmet ornament, which in the other picture is extremely blurry, but it seems to be based off the striped tiger. I think that's what they call it. It's sort of Bungie's famed striped tigers. And on the right there, we see some sort of trace rifle, maybe? Maybe a Halo weapon. Anyways, moving on to the other side of the picture, we got that same pulse rifle on that Warlock's back there, as you can see him holding Aya's Luna. Then on the Hunter, he's got a 1,000-yard stare on his back with an Aya's Luna in his hand. And we see that trace rifle thing again. And if you ask me, that trace rifle thing actually looks very similar to a Halo beam rifle. If you don't know, in Halo, that's essentially the Covenant, the aliens' equivalent to the sniper rifle. So that could be interesting. Maybe it's a brand new exotic weapon that's a hybrid between the trace rifle and a sniper rifle. And that pulse rifle I was talking about before, it seems very similar looking to a Halo battle rifle. And the reason why they look so different, at least from what I heard from a couple of leakers a bit ago, it seems like Bungie was unable to secure the rights to using Halo stuff directly. So it seems like they're making Halo inspired stuff, but they're not going to call it Halo stuff because of copyright and stuff. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for all the news for this week. The 30th anniversary is going to be launching next week on December 7th. Unfortunately, next week as well, I have finals for school, so I'm going to have literally zero time to make any videos, so I'm probably going to be taking a week break here. However, when I come back, I should have lots of time for videos, and so, I don't know, maybe I'll make more videos than normal till January. Maybe, that's not a commitment. Anyways, this was Ace Trader John, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.